Hello, I just wanted to talk for a minute or two about runes. Um, of all of the magical systems which are out there, runes are particularly important to me. They always have been. Um, and as most of you will be aware, as well as being involved with the Apophis Club, I am a rune master in the Rune Guild. And after developing the Apophis curriculum, the work of the seven heads in the book Apophis, I wanted to demonstrate how that raw system could be applied with a complete magical tradition. And so naturally the one I picked was the runes. And the result of that was this book, Aegishjalmur, the Book of Dragon Runes. Aegishjalmur, of course, is a word in Old Norse which means the helm of awe or the helm of terror, and it refers to the dragon Fafnir and that mesmerizing power which radiates from between the eyes of the dragon, causing its victims to just stop paralyzed in fear or to turn and flee. And it's the tale of Sigurd and Fafnir from Norse mythology, which is the initiatory model that Aegishjalmur is based upon. The winning of the powers of the dragon, their elevation into consciousness, and then reaching beyond that towards divinity. That's the journey of the rune worker. And I'm often intrigued that some people don't realize that Aegishjalmur is actually developed along exactly the same pattern as Apophis. If you read the two books side by side, chapter for chapter, you'll find that they coincide. They're two of a kind. They're intended to be used together. For example, in Apophis, you have the chapter dealing with the work of the first head, the work of the body. In Aegishjalmur, you have a chapter titled Establishing Sovereignty in Midgard. This covers all of the body-related work with the runes, Stadagalder, the use of the body to form the rune postures, the runic mythic imagery of the nine worlds, use of the senses, reaching back to communicate with your ancestors, the uses of such things as alcohol as a sacrament, making your tools for rune work, carving a set of runes. All of these physical works are included in that first chapter of practical work in Aegishjalmur, the work of the first head given runically. The next chapter, Mastery of the Mind, just as the second head is that of the Thunderbolt, which deals with control of the mind. Here you have it in runic terms, looking at the soul law, thought control, concentration exercises, the principles behind the runes, visualizing the runes, meditating upon the runes, learning the rune songs, learning how to make bind runes and to apply runes in magical use. The work of the second head. The next chapter, Unlocking the Worlds, looking at the basics of trance and walking the paths between the nine worlds, learning the process of divination, rune casting, dreams. In other words, once you get past the couple of introductory chapters, there are 7 practical chapters in Aegishjalmur which match chapter for chapter the 7 practical chapters relating to the 7 heads in Apophis. So the 2 books go hand in hand, and Aegishjalmur was deliberately written to show how the Apophis curriculum is adapted to work with a magical tradition. And Aegishjalmur is a very special book for me. This is the book which was my masterwork for the Rune Guild. And the rune work has continued, as all of the Apophis work has, to develop since the book was written. Right now, the supporters of my Patreon are undergoing an intensive course of rune work. The first 39 stages of this work are already up there, and a new one posted every 2 weeks. And this goes through the Aegishjalmur curriculum, but it's guided, it's very intense, and people are getting a lot out of this. And there's so much being added to it too. We have Apophis Club members on the Patreon who have created a whole series of recordings to implant the runes deeply in the mind. Neuro imprinting sessions. These have been done by one of the foremost experts in that field, with sound, hypnotic language, which will implant the meanings of the runes deep in your subconscious and accelerate the learning process incredibly. We have another member who has produced a 3D virtual landscape which Patreon members can explore to discover the runes there, and virtual landscapes for various of the 9 worlds so that they can be explored to aid with visualization when you come to trance work. So there's so much innovative material going on the Patreon to expand the written word. And this is why I keep recommending it for the people who want the full Apophis Club experience and to be connected to the up-to-date stream of material which is available. But this is that first and foundational book of Draconian rune magic. And I just wanted to give you a brief introduction to that, if you're not already familiar with it, and to let you know the new and unique and innovative directions that we are taking that work in, which are going far beyond the book now as we keep pushing the boundaries, because magic doesn't stand still, not for a moment. Thank you for listening.